If you're free to choose a bad thing, some bad habit, smoking cigarettes, eating too much sugar, maybe you're also free to not choose it. Maybe you're free to choose something else, something good. Let's begin.
This is a beautiful thought.
Welcome, everybody. The title of today's talk, Free to Choose Good Things. You know, I think most of us are human. I think shout out to the lizard people. Most of us are human. Most of us have vices. And there are things like one of my biggest vices, actually, sugar, eating ice cream. But you know, there are other things can be a little darker than that. Some of us in troubled times turn to drugs. Even abuse of soft drugs like cannabis can lead us down a dark path. And these days, addiction to pornography, quite common. Masturbation, sex addiction, kind of dark path. One thing I think about, trying to break some of these habits which have been destructive to myself, careless, sometimes mistreating others around me in service to some kind of addiction, even if it's a small one, even if it's small offenses, you know. One thing I've noticed is that, of course, when we do realize that we want to break habits, sometimes we'll go about it by abnegation. It's like self-denial. We deny to ourselves that we even want these things. Or we say no to ourselves. We try to shut it out. So when we do feel that desire or that compulsion, we say no to it. Now, this is a funny thing. You don't actually need to say no to the compulsion, because what you're doing is not denying, or this is one way to do it, right? There are many paths to becoming more conscious about our habits. We don't need to deny the compulsion of the feeling, the desire. We can embrace the desire and still choose a wonderful course of action. So, sometimes when we do get those feelings, when I get those feelings, I say to myself, I am free to do this. It seems kind of counterintuitive. It seems very counterintuitive, actually, that I would express that I'm free to do the exact thing that I don't want to do. Why is this? Because I'm not choosing not to do it out of fear. I'm choosing to do it because I know ultimately that is what's beneficial for me. So I say, I am free to do this thing. Eat the ice cream. Jerk off. Right. It's a bit obscene. I am free to do this. And that must also mean I am free not to do this. Now, how wonderful is it that we can bring consciousness into our lives in a way to change our habits, change our momentum, change the path that maybe destiny has laid out for us, and express our creative God nature to make something new, something that perhaps has never happened, that we've never done before in our lives. We take a new path. We are free to continue on the old path. We are free to forge, to blaze a new trail. And how wonderful to do that, looking forward to a path of greater happiness, of greater love and greater compassion, empathy for ourselves and others. And that is how we move forward, free to choose good things. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for exercising consciousness in your daily life, examining your habits and building new ones. Have a great day. I will talk to you soon.
A beautiful thought.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, then feel free to share it with a friend. Maybe you can send them a little message saying, hey, why don't you listen on the website, beautifulpodcast.com, on Spotify, on Breaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, a variety, a buffet, a veritable smorgasbord of fine platforms where you can dine on this delicious content. Go ahead, send a friend a message. Tell them that you care about them and that this podcast will be cool to listen to because reasons. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for doing that. Have a wonderful day.
I wanna feel